there were three major currency empires. The Dutch and the Dutch guilder, followed by the British and the British pound, and the US and the US dollar. And they have to do with which are the largest trading countries, because they bring their money around the world. And there's that cycle. And that cycle now is having China is now the largest trading country. And you're starting to see the development of capital markets in China that are open to foreign investors. You're starting to see, you will see the internationalization of the renminbi. You will see opening capital markets. You'll see the development of the financial center. That is all part of that pattern that's happened over and over again. I don't believe the renminbi will be a viable reserve currency quickly, but I do believe it'll happen much faster than anybody expects. So if we were to take the next 5 years, the question is, what is the storehold of wealth in the meantime? And that's why you're seeing the movement into other financial assets.
One thing that constantly comes up, you know, with the world looking to start increasing their exposure to China. I mean, it's an issue with some, it's not an issue with everybody, is the debt issue. And obviously part of that progress, there has been, you know, a decent amount of debt that's been built up. Do you think, Ray, China has a debt problem?
The basic rule of a debt problem is it in your own currency or not? If it's in your own currency, there are lots of ways of dealing with it. You know, you can restructure it, you can monetize it. If you take a debt, typical write-down of debt is something like 30 or 40%. If you take that debt, you put it on the government's balance sheet, and you write it down at 2% a year, it's not a problem. You renegotiate the interest rate. If you can control it in your own currency, it's all manageable. Japan is a good example of that. So, no, I don't believe that it has an unmanageable debt situation.
Chinese dictator Xi Jinping just back from what he is calling a milestone meeting with Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman after telling Arab leaders on Friday that he wants to buy oil and gas with the Chinese yuan instead of the US dollar, furthering his goal to internationalize the Chinese currency and replace the dollar as the reserve currency of.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
My message is the following. 2023 is going to be a difficult year for the world. And the silver lining can only be that we use it to transform our economies, that we accelerate change that will underpin sounder prospects for growth. And that we, the IMF, fully recognize our responsibility to be a force for good, and a force we will be, all of us.
CBDC can improve financial inclusion is through what we call programmability. That is, CBDC can allow government agencies and private sector players to program, to create smart contract, to allow targeted policy functions. For example, welfare payment. For example, consumption coupon. For example, food stamp. By programming CBDC, those money can be precisely targeted for what kind of people can own and what kind of use this money can be utilized, for example, for food. So this potential programmability can help government agencies to precisely target their support to those people who need support. So that way can also improve financial inclusion.
It's at the end, what the fourth industrial revolution will lead to is a fusion of our physical, our digital, and our biological identities.
So the whole foundation of what crypto is, it's supposed to be a distributed ledger that is across the system. I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem. You don't need trust.
Give a type of money that can only be spent for a specific number of reasons. And some worry about that state control or whatever, but like in this particular narrow use case, you want to give checks to individuals to get the economy moving again.
Yeah.
So if you think of programmable money that expires if you don't spend it.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book. The New World Order book is going to show you how the world really works. And it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. I told you at the beginning of the year, in the first quarter of 2022, we was going to have an event that was going to bring us down. And then also in the fourth quarter, we would have an event that would bring us down. That's exactly what happened. And now I'm going to tell you, in the first quarter, we're going to have an event that's going to bring us down in 2023. And then also in the fourth quarter of 2023, we're going to have another main event. Now, of course, guys, the markets are still going to be pumping and dumping until they get ready to pull the full rug. But I'll let you know when that's about to happen. Now, also, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to get re-educated. And also, much love to those who donate to the Cash Shop and Patreon. And in my Patreon, I keep you up to date with the New World Order events. Also, I give you the New World Order cryptos in the Patreon. Of course, you have to do your own research. But this next bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure that you have the cryptos that have utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And guys, we know we start off the new year. Now remember, New Year's is in September. And we know we're coming off a Shemitah year. Now we have Bitcoin and cryptos flat right now. And I expect liquidity to come in today and tomorrow. Remember, the holiday is going to be celebrated on Monday, and we know crypto is going to be the only game in town. Now, don't forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. We had yield rates rising. We had the dollar pulling back. We have volume, we have Tether, we have USDC, and then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. And we see the Fed definitely made a strategic move. Repo went up to 2.5 trillion. We know it's the holiday. Plus, guys, they're going to be rolling off $95 billion off the balance sheet. And then plus, we know the central banks are moving in lockstep. All of them are raising rates and now going to start rolling off the balance sheet. And we know the ECB has already been hawkish. They already said they're going to be raising 3 times straight. And then plus are going to start rolling off the balance sheet also. Remember, guys, it's a global effort to destroy this global economy so then therefore they can give the fourth industrial revolution rise, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take over the economy, pay each other with crypto, the sheep go inside the metaverse, get UBI, Universal Basic Income, that free money airdrop to them. But little do they know the money is programmable, telling them what, where, and when and how to buy, and they have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And we know the NWO causes the problem, print all this money. Wait for the reaction. We know the people, once they get laid off, are going to be begging the government to do something. Remember, this routine has already happened during the C word. And then we know the NWO is going to run in with that solution that they already had planned 10 years ago. Guys, we've seen this movie before. Remember, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. And then also, guys, don't forget about Grayscale. Moved down to about 14.617 billion. Now, guys, going over the Ray Dalio video, we know he's heavily invested in China, and we know Exxon, the Rockefellers, all these big banks and big corporations are heavily invested in China. That's the reason why they make all of our products. That's not for a reason, guys. That was planned a long time ago. And if you have read my book or been with this channel, you know I've proven it time and time again. And guys, we know 2023 to 2025 are building years for the United States for the fourth industrial revolution. But then also, it's the time where China, the dragon, is going to start rising. And like I state, this happens in phases. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's definitely going to move fast. And in America, guys, we're used to surplus. And we can go into our grocery stores and see things have definitely changed. So you're definitely going to have to change your spending habits. Because very soon, we're going to see how much we rely on each other. This is a consumer nation. We consume. This is more services. We don't manufacture anything, even though we see them trying to move things back to the United States, but that takes time. So if you have a big business that closes, it's going to affect everything around it. If you're old as me, we've seen it dozens of times. And now that a lot of the mom and pops are closed, and now you have places like Walmart, Target, and if they start to close, everything is going to close around them. And I hope you know this is done by design. But I'm letting you know over these next 2 years, guys, is going to be a rough ride. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher, and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chips out, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the C-Red, the biotech stocks, and while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.